On a busy ride home after a long day at work, Mike felt a weight in him heart. Not only was he drained from him job, but he also felt unsure about him future and unclear about where to find happiness. Mike's experience isn't unique. It mirrors the common feelings many of us face. Today's world, with its relentless demands, requires us to constantly adapt, yet often the fast pace and pressures of life can leave us feeling worn out and aimless. So how can we find balance in this hectic world? The answer may lie in the ancient but timely wisdom of Epictetus, an ancient Greek philosopher. His teachings aren't just tips for better living, but are principles for achieving peace and self-mastery in all life areas. In this article, we'll explore 20 of Epictetus's principles, from the importance of listening more than speaking to learning to embrace and enjoy simplicity. You might be familiar with some of these principles, but I invite you to listen from a new perspective or simply revisit them for deeper insights. Each principle is a step towards meaningfully reshaping your life, bringing inner peace even in tough times. Therefore, in the next few minutes, focus on the content and not on daily distractions. First principle: embrace failure as a pathway to growth. In our relentless effort to avoid embarrassment or ridicule, we often avoid situations where we might fail or seem foolish. However, Epictetus challenges this common avoidance with a view that celebrates the role of failure in personal and professional growth. According to him, one of the most beneficial experiences is to be seen as foolish, as it is through these moments that we truly have the chance to grow and refine our skills. Epictetus's Stoic philosophy highlights that true mastery and overcoming challenges don't happen overnight. They are the result of persistent effort, numerous setbacks, and continuous learning. Each failure is a critical learning point, providing clear insights into what doesn't work, and thereby bringing us closer to a method that does. This trial and error process is not just about making mistakes, but about using these mistakes as an essential part of the journey towards excellence. The idea of embracing failure is about changing our perspective to see failure not as a setback, but as an essential component of the learning process. It is through the very act of failing that we gain the wisdom and resilience needed to succeed. By understanding and accepting that each failure is a step forward, we open ourselves to real improvement and innovation. This approach applies not just to our professional lives, but is equally important in personal growth, where overcoming personal flaws and building character often require enduring and learning from failures. Thus, adopting this mindset involves recognizing the inherent value in making and learning from mistakes. It means not avoiding challenges for fear of failure, but rather engaging with them actively, knowing that each challenge overcome enriches our experience and enhances our competence. This principle teaches us to transform the fear of being judged as foolish into a strategic advantage, thereby fostering a more resilient and adaptable approach to both life and work. Second principle: embrace humility in learning. Epictetus stresses the critical importance of admitting ignorance in the areas we think we know well. This approach champions humility, especially in the realm of education and personal growth. Pride in our knowledge can be a significant barrier to learning. It creates a false sense of superiority and completeness that can prevent us from recognizing the gaps in our understanding. Epictetus warns against the arrogance of assumed knowledge, which can distance us from deeper truths and richer learning experiences. By acknowledging that we don't know everything, we open ourselves up to real learning opportunities and the chance to grow. Approaching life with the humility of a learner means adopting the perspective of a child, curious, open, and eager. Children view the world with wonder and a relentless desire to understand, unimpeded by biases or a false sense of mastery. This capacity for awe and the eagerness to learn without preconceptions allows for a more authentic and enriching experience. By incorporating humility into our lives, especially in how we learn, we can continuously expand our understanding and improve ourselves. This principle encourages us not just to accumulate information, but to transform how we perceive and engage with the world, fostering a lifelong openness to learning and personal evolution. Third principle, commit to your responsibilities. Epictetus emphasizes the importance of duty and the inherent roles each of us plays in society. He draws a parallel between the natural world and human obligations, noting how the sun rises every day without need for praise. It simply fulfills its role as it's essential to the world's functioning. Likewise, each person has specific responsibilities that contribute to the larger societal mechanism. These duties, whether they are professional roles, family tasks, or civic responsibilities, are crucial not only for personal integrity, but also for the health and sustainability of the broader community. By performing our roles diligently, we uphold the fabric of society and ensure its smooth operation. The idea that one should work only for praise or recognition runs counter to this Stoic principle. Such an attitude undermines the essence of duty, which is about contributing positively and reliably, independent of external rewards. Recognizing and embracing our roles requires deep commitment and an understanding of how our actions intersect with the well-being of others. Epictetus's teaching calls for a mature approach to duty, understanding that our tasks are part of a bigger picture and that others rely on us to fulfill our part. By adopting this mindset, we not only achieve greater personal satisfaction, but also contribute to a more harmonious and functional community. This principle encourages us to be proactive, reliable, and steadfast, fulfilling our duties as inherently valuable actions that define our character and impact our world. Fourth principle, find the advantage in every situation. Epictetus firmly believed that it is within our power to derive benefits from any circumstance. His philosophy isn't just a suggestion that we can find something good in adverse situations. He asserts that it is our duty to do so. This outlook challenges us to use our intellect and resourcefulness to identify and leverage opportunities, even in the most unlikely scenarios. Consider a scenario where you're unexpectedly let go from your job. While it's natural to feel upset or to see this as a setback, Epictetus would advise looking beyond the immediate discomfort. This could be the perfect catalyst to pursue a long-held dream of starting your own business, a venture that might not have been feasible with the constraints of a full-time job and unsatisfactory work relationships. This principle teaches us that in every event, there lies potential for a positive outcome. It's just a matter of perspective and response. By consistently seeking the positive, even in the face of challenges, we develop resilience and a proactive attitude. Over time, this approach not only helps us navigate difficulties, but also transforms these situations into stepping stones towards greater achievements. Thus, the practice of extracting benefit from every situation is not merely about making the best of things, but is a strategic approach to life that can lead us to unexpected growth and success. By embracing this mindset, we empower ourselves to move forward with optimism and determination, making progress that surpasses mere endurance or survival. Fifth principle, cultivate gratitude. Epictetus emphasized the importance of being grateful for what we have, rather than resenting what we lack or what others possess. This practice of gratitude shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, highlighting the many blessings that often go unnoticed in our daily lives. By actively recognizing and appreciating these gifts, we enhance our overall well-being and foster a positive outlook that permeates all aspects of our lives. Gratitude is not just a passive feeling, but an active engagement with our environment. It encourages us to acknowledge the good in our lives, even in times of hardship. This shift in focus can transform our interactions with others, our career pursuits, and our personal growth by anchoring us in a state of contentment and appreciation. The act of being grateful also builds resilience, as it equips us to face challenges with a more balanced perspective, seeing opportunities for growth where we might once have seen obstacles. Sixth principle: retain control over your emotions. When we allow the comments and attitudes of others to disturb us, we inadvertently give them power over our feelings and, by extension, our lives. According to this principle, anyone who can provoke anger in us essentially assumes control, dictating our emotional state. However, it's crucial to recognize that such control is only possible if we permit these external influences to affect us. We possess many internal keys that can unlock various emotional states. Some lead to happiness, while others can send us spiraling towards emotional turmoil. When we react with anger to someone's words or actions, we are essentially handing them one of these critical keys, specifically the one that unlocks our most negative emotions. The strategy to counter this problem involves erecting a mental barrier that shields us from being overly affected by others. This means cultivating an understanding that while people are responsible for what they say, we are equally responsible for what we choose to hear and how we respond. By maintaining this barrier, we safeguard our emotional well-being and keep control over our reactions, ensuring that we remain the masters of our own emotional state. This principle encourages us to focus on strengthening our emotional resilience and not allowing others' words or actions to dictate our feelings or reactions. In doing so, we ensure that our emotional health and overall happiness are governed by our own choices and attitudes, not those of others. Seventh principle: rise above hatred. Epictetus teaches us to maintain our composure and dignity in the face of hostility. Instead of succumbing to the negative emotions of hatred and resentment toward those who despise or mistreat us, he advises a path of non-engagement, recognizing that those who hate or criticize are acting from their own limitations and struggles. We should not stoop to their level by harboring similar feelings. This Stoic guidance helps us understand that our self-worth and value are not diminished by others' negative perceptions or actions. By choosing to ignore rather than retaliate with hate, we preserve our inner peace and maintain our focus on more constructive and positive aspects of life. It's a recognition that responding with hatred is a waste of the emotional and mental energy that could be better spent on more fulfilling pursuits. Epictetus's advice also aids us in cultivating emotional resilience. When we learn not to fear or internalize the harm intended by others, we essentially become immune to the negativity that could otherwise unsettle or hurt us. This not only protects our emotional well-being, but also enhances our ability to focus on our goals and relationships that bring joy and meaning to our lives. By disengaging from the cycle of hatred and retaliation, we affirm our superiority, not in terms of arrogance, but in our ability to rise above petty conflicts and emotional disturbances. This principle steers us towards greater personal growth, encouraging us to live lives characterized by tranquility and purpose, unaffected by the base actions of others. Eighth principle: practice forgiveness. Epictetus taught that holding on to anger and resentment is a form of self-harm. Forgiveness, on the other hand, frees us from the toxic cycle of bitterness and vengeance. By choosing to forgive, we release ourselves from the burden of grudges that can cloud our judgment and affect our emotional health. Forgiveness is not about condoning wrongdoing or denying the harm caused. It is about letting go of the anger that binds us to past hurts. This principle challenges us to rise above personal slights and to see the broader picture. In forgiving, we reclaim our peace and prevent others' actions from defining our emotional state. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for maintaining mental clarity and emotional stability, allowing us to move forward with our lives unencumbered by lingering negativity. It is a deliberate choice that aligns with living a virtuous life, as it embodies patience, compassion, and a profound understanding of human imperfections. Ninth principle: view guilt as counterproductive. Epictetus equates guilt with a destructive force, likening it to a plague that serves no constructive purpose. He outlines a spectrum of responses to guilt. Narrow-minded individuals blame others, ordinary people blame themselves, but the wise view all forms of guilt as folly. This perspective has influenced modern therapeutic approaches, where guilt is often seen as an emotion to eliminate rather than a productive feeling. Epictetus's teaching on guilt is rooted in the idea that assigning blame, whether to others or ourselves, is a simplistic response that obviates the need for personal growth or corrective action. Blame can be a convenient escape that absolves one from truly addressing and rectifying mistakes. It's a trap that fosters stagnation rather than fostering development or resolution. The antidote to guilt, according to this Stoic principle, is not to engage with it. Instead, the wise approach is to sidestep the feelings of guilt and focus on taking responsibility for one's actions. This involves a more nuanced understanding of our errors, not as occasions for self-reproach or condemnation, but as opportunities for learning and improvement. To truly overcome guilt, one must cultivate a strong determination to grow from one's experiences. This means learning to analyze situations objectively and making constructive changes without succumbing to self-criticism or blaming others. It's about maintaining accountability in a way that is forward-looking and proactive, rather than punitive or self-defeating. By embracing this Stoic approach, we empower ourselves to act with integrity and purpose, enhancing our capacity to handle challenges and setbacks more effectively and without the debilitating effects of guilt. This principle encourages a more rational and compassionate approach to dealing with our imperfections and the imperfections of others. 10th principle: embrace simplicity. Why choose a simple life when surrounded by the possibility of luxuries? The rationale is straightforward. While a luxurious lifestyle demands continuous commitment and energy to maintain, simplicity brings with it a profound sense of freedom. The allure of wealth often locks us into a cycle of endless work and stress as we manage financial obligations like bills, loans, and credit card payments. Opting for a simpler way of living does more than just alleviate these pressures. It also allows us to focus on what genuinely enriches us: relationships, personal growth, and inner peace. This approach to life isn't about deprivation, it's about choosing to prioritize the essentials over excess, quality over quantity. This principle advocates for a reduction in material burdens that often clutter our existence, suggesting that less can indeed be more. By simplifying our lives, we not only free ourselves from the encumbrances of excessive possessions, but also open up space to engage more deeply with life's truly valuable offerings. In doing so, we find that simplicity is not just a matter of economic choice, but a pathway to a more contented, meaningful life. 11th principle: your reactions shape your destiny. Epictetus emphasized the critical role of our responses to the events that befall us. Although we often have no control over these events, we fully control how we react to them. This distinction is fundamental in determining our life's course. Misfortune is a universal aspect of human experience, but our individual responses to adversity can dramatically influence our personal outcomes. For instance, where one person might see a divorce as a catastrophic end, another might view it as a pivotal starting point for personal growth and renewal. This perspective shift is crucial. It transforms potential stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Epictetus teaches that our life's trajectory is shaped not merely by the events we encounter, but by our reactions to them. If we respond with despair and resignation, we may find ourselves stuck and unhappy. However, if we choose to confront challenges with resilience and a mindset oriented towards growth and learning, we open up new possibilities for success and fulfillment. This principle invites us to reflect deeply on our habitual reactions and to consider more deliberate and constructive responses. By doing so, we can turn even the most challenging situations into opportunities for personal development and success. Remember, it's not what happens to you, but what you do with what happens to you that defines your life. This is a powerful reminder that we are the architects of our fate, building our future one reaction at a time. 12th principle, let go of what you cannot control. Epictetus teaches that while we may be masters of our opinions, our desires, and our actions, there are aspects of our lives over which we have no control, such as our reputation, the amount of wealth we accumulate, or our overall success. Fretting over these uncontrollable factors is, in his view, a waste of time and energy. This Stoic principle urges us to focus our attention and efforts on areas where we can make a difference: our personal virtues, our responses to situations, and our own behavior. By doing so, we not only use our resources more effectively, but also maintain a sense of inner peace by accepting that some things are simply beyond our grasp. The philosophy of letting go of what we cannot control is particularly valuable in times of uncertainty or stress. It helps us maintain clarity and composure, enabling us to act more decisively and effectively in those areas where we can actually make an impact. Moreover, Stoicism is not about passive resignation, but about active engagement with what is within our control. It calls for a practical approach to life, applying learned principles, addressing challenges head-on, and always moving forward without being weighed down by worries about the uncontrollable. This mindset fosters resilience, allowing us to navigate through life's challenges with focus and determination, unburdened by fruitless concerns. 13th principle, always brace for the worst. One of the pervasive triggers of anxiety, which often spirals into more severe emotional turmoil, stems from our fears about the future. Imagine the typical anxieties that might haunt an average person. Fears that our children might give up on their education, apprehensions about job security, the distressing possibility that a spouse could reveal an affair and seek a divorce, or the looming dread of financial collapse. Each day seems to present a new worry, a fresh scenario that fuels our unease. This ongoing cycle of fear not only disrupts our daily peace, but also paints our outlook with a permanent shade of stress. As we navigate through life, despite its moments of happiness and success, we are invariably met with a series of challenges that test our resolve and emotional strength. The accumulation of these stresses can be overwhelming, creating a state of constant anxiety driven by different triggers each day. It is in this context that the teachings of Epictetus, the ancient Stoic philosopher, become particularly relevant. He proposes a radical yet profoundly strategic approach. Imagine that all the things you fear have already happened. This isn't a call to despair, but a powerful technique to mentally and emotionally prepare oneself for the worst. By contemplating these scenarios in advance, you are not succumbing to fear, but are training your mind to develop coping strategies. This method of preemptive emotional preparation allows you to confront potential disasters with a fortified spirit. Instead of being overtaken by surprise and panic when hardships occur, you are better equipped to handle them with composure and resilience. The wisdom here is not about nurturing negativity, rather it's about cultivating a kind of mental toughness that enables you to face life's inevitable hardships with your head held high, thus reducing the impact of anxiety on your overall well-being. By adopting this mindset, you engage in a form of psychological rehearsal, akin to how athletes prepare for a competition. This readiness doesn't diminish the joy of life or suggest living in constant fear. Rather, it enhances your ability to enjoy the good while being prepared for the bad. This stoic preparation helps transform potentially debilitating fears into manageable challenges, enabling a more balanced and proactive approach to life's uncertainties. 14th principle: surround yourself with positive influences. Epictetus underscores the importance of being selective about the company we keep, drawing an analogy between physical and social contagions. Just as we naturally distance ourselves from someone who is physically ill to avoid getting sick, we should also be cautious about negative social influences that can impact our mental and emotional health. He advises forming relationships with people who inspire and uplift us. Human interactions can have a profound effect on our psyche. Some individuals may drain our energy and dampen our spirits, while others can enhance our mood and motivate us to achieve our best. The quality of these interactions can significantly affect our overall well-being and the direction of our lives. Choosing to surround ourselves with positive and inspiring individuals isn't just about seeking out successful people, but involves finding those whose values resonate with ours and who encourage our growth in meaningful ways. These relationships are mutually beneficial, creating an environment where everyone is encouraged to thrive. Conversely, distancing ourselves from those who drain our energy or bring negativity into our lives is essential for maintaining our emotional health and staying focused on our goals. This principle of making selective alliances teaches us to be intentional about who we let into our inner circle, recognizing that our companions can either hinder or enhance our journey towards personal fulfillment and success. By applying this wisdom, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute positively to the lives of those around us. 15th principle: value friendships over material wealth. True wealth comes from genuine friendships, those relationships that provide unwavering support, especially when material fortunes may falter. Unlike material wealth, which can be unpredictable and fleeting, friendships offer emotional stability and fulfillment that last over time. This principle encourages us to invest in cultivating deep and meaningful relationships, akin to making long-term financial investments, but potentially more rewarding. Friends stand by us during challenges, offering comfort and assistance, and enhance our everyday lives through shared experiences and mutual understanding. Prioritizing friendships over the accumulation of wealth can lead to a richer, more satisfying life. It's about recognizing the invaluable support system that friends represent, understanding that while money can buy comfort and luxury, it cannot buy loyalty, love, or genuine companionship. By dedicating time and effort to nurturing these relationships, we not only ensure a network of support for tough times, but also enrich our lives with joy and connectedness, which are the essence of true prosperity. 16th principle: make a habit of listening more than you speak. Epictetus highlights the thoughtful design of human anatomy, giving us 2 ears and only 1 mouth, suggesting that we should listen more than we speak. This perspective points to a deeper intention behind our biological setup, emphasizing the importance of absorbing the words and wisdom of others around us. By embracing this principle, we open ourselves to a broader spectrum of knowledge and understanding. It's not merely about remaining silent, but actively engaging in the act of listening, truly hearing and considering the viewpoints and experiences shared by others. This practice enriches our lives, expands our perspectives, and fosters deeper connections. It's through this ongoing exchange of ideas and experiences that real personal growth and societal advancement occur. Starting today, I encourage you to shift your focus. Pay more attention to what others have to say and less to reaffirming your own long-held beliefs. Let your conversations be guided more by curiosity and a genuine interest in understanding others, rather than an eagerness to broadcast your own viewpoints. This subtle yet profound shift in how we communicate can lead to significant transformations in both personal relationships and broader social interactions. 17th principle, be cautious of the perils of wealth. The allure of fortune is powerful, often seen as a gateway to happiness and security. Yet, Epictetus warns of the inherent dangers that accompany wealth, dangers that can ensnare even the most vigilant among us. Wealth brings with it not only opportunities, but also significant risks, one of which is the potential corruption of our character and values. The problem with acquiring substantial wealth is twofold. Firstly, it attracts individuals who feign friendship and loyalty for their own gain. These are people who appear out of nowhere, drawn by the prospect of sharing in your fortune without genuine emotional investment in your well-being. Their presence introduces a layer of deceit and manipulation into your life, which can be difficult to navigate. Secondly, and perhaps more critically, money has the power to alter people's personalities and priorities, often detrimentally so. Upon gaining wealth, individuals frequently discover aspects of themselves previously unknown or dormant. This newfound power can lead to a sense of invulnerability or entitlement, distancing them from their humble beginnings or the values that once grounded them. The intoxication of wealth can lead to moral compromises, where ethics are overshadowed by the pursuit of more wealth or the maintenance of power. Epictetus's cautionary stance is not about shunning wealth entirely, but about maintaining a vigilant awareness of its potential to change us. He urges us to observe how wealth might be affecting our principles and actions. It's vital to remain anchored in one's ethical beliefs and to not let the seductive qualities of wealth lead one astray. This principle is about fostering a robust internal compass that remains steady regardless of external fortunes, ensuring that our spirits are not poisoned by the very wealth we sought to secure comfort and happiness. 18th principle. Diversify your hopes. It's natural for humans to dream and aspire, but focusing all our hopes on a single goal can lead to significant disappointment if it remains unachieved. Epictetus, with his insightful take on life's uncertainties, advises against such singular focus. Instead, he promotes the cultivation of multiple aspirations. The logic behind this approach is grounded in practicality and resilience. By investing in a variety of dreams and goals, we not only distribute the risk of potential failure, but also enhance our chances for success. Each endeavor becomes a learning experience, enriching our growth and offering multiple avenues to fulfillment. This strategy ensures that if one path closes, others may open, thus maintaining our momentum and emotional balance. Epictetus's philosophy encourages us to prepare for any outcome by embracing diversity in our aspirations. This approach helps avoid the common pitfall of placing excessive emotional investment in a single outcome, which can lead to disproportionate despair or frustration when faced with obstacles or failures. By pursuing multiple dreams, we not only boost our chances of success, but also develop a more robust and adaptable mindset. This principle teaches us to appreciate the journey of exploring various interests, learning from each experience, and finding satisfaction in the breadth of paths we take, rather than being overly fixated on a single, potentially elusive goal. 19th principle, acknowledge the inevitability of death. While it may initially seem somber, Epictetus's guidance to recognize the inevitability of death is intended not to foster pessimism, but to cultivate a profound awareness of life's finite nature. Understanding that death awaits everyone can significantly shift our perspectives on how we spend our time and what we value most. This Stoic reminder prompts us to critically evaluate our life's pursuits. Are the goals to which we dedicate decades, such as owning a home, truly worth our finite time, especially when such material possessions do not accompany us beyond life? This reflection encourages a balanced view, prompting us to weigh our ambitions against the ultimate reality of life's transience. Epictetus suggests incorporating this awareness into our daily routine, much like our essential items such as phones or credit cards. He even recommends keeping a small notebook of Stoic principles to regularly remind ourselves of this perspective. Such a practice can transform our approach to daily challenges and redefine our understanding of what constitutes a true misfortune. By integrating this Stoic wisdom into our daily lives, we begin to see life not just as the time available to us, but as an opportunity to make meaningful choices that reflect a deeper understanding of our existence. This awareness encourages us to live more fully, prioritizing actions and goals that offer genuine fulfillment and lasting value rather than fleeting pleasures or superficial achievements. 20th principle, true wealth is found in contentment. Epictetus posits a specific view of happiness, asserting that a wise person does not lament the absence of possessions, but delights in those they have. This outlook is not merely philosophical but practical, urging us to shift our focus from what we lack to what we possess. Focusing on our deficits rather than our assets can perpetuate a state of dissatisfaction. By constantly dwelling on unmet desires or material goods, we risk overlooking the abundant blessings already present in our lives, achievements, relationships, and personal growth. This oversight can deprive us of genuine happiness, which often resides in appreciating the ordinary and the attained, rather than longing for the extraordinary or out of reach. Epictetus encourages a re-evaluation of what constitutes true wealth. He suggests that richness stems not from the accumulation of goods, but from a spirit of gratitude and satisfaction. Therefore, a truly wealthy person is one who finds joy in their current circumstances and possessions, recognizing their value and feeling fulfilled by them. This principle calls for cultivating a spirit of contentment, which can significantly enhance our quality of life. By embracing satisfaction in what we have, we open ourselves to a deeper, more enduring sense of happiness that is not dependent on the endless pursuit of more. In this way, contentment becomes a form of wealth that is far more rewarding and sustainable than material riches. Epictetus's principles offer timeless wisdom to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. By applying these teachings, we can transform our daily struggles into opportunities for personal growth and deeper satisfaction. If these insights resonate with you, consider sharing your thoughts and this philosophy with others who might benefit from a bit of Stoic wisdom. Engage with our content further by subscribing to the channel for more enlightening discussions on Stoicism and other philosophical teachings. Your involvement helps us continue to provide impactful content.